is going to be one of the gun races. Are you ready to rock Willowbank?
Troy Green.
In the world of drag racing, there's no denying the fact that bigger really is better.
Have we got any Victor Bray fans at Willowbank?
It's a sport of big noise, big fuel bills, and above all else, big horsepower. And as far as personalities go, they don't come much bigger than Queensland's own champion of the quarter mile, Victor Bray.
Dick, Dick, Dick.
A six-time national champion and former world speed record holder, the godfather of top-door slammer racing, as he's known, has built a career out of putting his right foot down and keeping it there. But to find where the Bray story began, you need to leave burning rubber and bright lights behind and head here, to an out-of-the-way tomato field on the north side of Brisbane.
Yeah, it did in round about the 1920s. My family moved out to this actual property here. They'd been in the Pine Rivers area since the late 1800s, so they moved out to this property here and started a cattle farm, a dairy farm in the first instance, but it's changed an awful lot over the years, and it's been pineapple farm, it's been beef cattle, and ended up in tomatoes.
5 generations of Brays have tilled this soil, and although these days the demands of a full-time racing team take up most of his time, Vic still pitches in when the family needs him on the farm.
And when I was told I might be going for a spin with Victor Bray, this isn't exactly what I had in mind.
Probably the slowest one you're going to get this week, mate.
Tucked away in a shed down by the farmhouse, you'll find one of the most successful race teams in drag racing.
Not a bad collection you've got there.
That's the golden Christmas trees, mate. That's like the Melbourne Cups in drag racing. Yeah, the greatest, you know, those things you only get from winning national events.
It's a nice accolade.
Yeah, the trophies are worth $20. Cost me about $30 million to get hold of them.
Vic's toy shed includes some of the fastest cars in the country, but taking pride of place in the collection is his first love and the car that started it all, the 1957 Chef.
I love the fact that I bought this car. I can remember every day that I've had in this car. You know, I've had all my kids when I had this car, you know, the 3 kids that I had, and it's just been a good time, you know, and a lot of good memories in it, that's for sure.
Victor's had a lifelong passion for all things mechanical, tracing back to his early days on the farm when his father first taught him how to keep the trucks and tractors ticking over. Fast forward to 2007 and he's still twisting spanners, building all his own race engines, a massive undertaking in a sport famous for chewing up engine parts and spitting them out.
Now, Vic, I'm no expert on any type of motorsport, but I can tell that this is an expensive pastime.
Yeah, well, it doesn't always go right, mate. Sometimes things go wrong, and this is what it ends up looking like. And
any superstitions that we should know about?
Oh, I can tell you about some of them. I won't tell you about others. But no, well, you know, stuff like this, we don't like touching broken parts. And
okay, so
yeah.
If I went, could you hold that for us? You wouldn't.
Oh, I could hold it for you. That's no trouble at all. But
I don't want to cast any bad luck.
I'd go wash my hands afterwards.
Would you really?
I wouldn't go and touch another engine that we're putting together after I've been touching this.
And he has always been jumped up to third.
The big development for Team Bray in recent years has been the addition of a second driver, none other than Vic's son Ben. Benny the Kid, as he's known, grew up watching Dad race, so it's not surprising that he himself has already become a front runner in the sport. As a proud father and team boss, Victor's watched his son progress up through the field, counting the 2002 national titles as one of his most memorable moments.
And I'd contested it 16 times, and I'd only won it the year before. So for Ben's whole racing career and all his life, he'd watched me trying to win the Nationals, and I never ever won it. I didn't qualify that weekend.
Wow.
Ben did, and he won. He won the Nationals in his first event. Later that night, he sort of comes around to me and he says, "Dad, the Nationals wasn't that hard to win, you know." So,
rubbed it in.
So I copped it. So I made a sticker up for the back of his car, "World's Fastest Smartass." It's still there today, mate.
Oh my God! How good's this? Can you start this baby up?
I could fire it up for you.
Oh, please.
Strapped into a driver's seat with the engine blaring, it's loud, fumy and altogether uncomfortable. But clearly, this is Victor Bray in his element.
Yeah, I've done this my whole life and I just enjoy it. It's just what I know. If I can't do this, I'll have to go back to growing tomatoes, mate. And signing autographs and driving race cars is a lot easier than picking tomatoes, I can tell you.
After deafening the crowds over the Indy weekend, it's another season of drag racing around the country for the Bray boys. Their next Queensland outing won't be until April next year at Willowbank. The only way to truly appreciate the sheer power of these cars is to see them in person. Just one word of advice though, pack your earplugs.
That is the most ridiculous amount of noise I've ever heard.
Yeah, they are very noisy cars.
That is amazing. I need some bread and milk on the way home. Can we just duck off and grab some?
$5 for the $5 for the bread and milk down the shop. $1,000 trip to get it. Priceless.